Hey everyone, this is Grixon, and starting out Dragonflight with a new dungeons, having fun, trying out some Mythic Zero to gear up. And so I recorded a few of them. We'll start with this one here. This is the Nokhud offensive, and I forgot to hit it in the beginning, but basically you'll get on a Dragonfly mount and you'll fly over to this side, or you kind of pick wherever you want. It's kind of freeform. But if you go to this side, there's little catapults that'll have on the map that'll be like yellow. You have to like clear all these catapults before the boss. So that's where we are. We're at the first catapult, and that's when I decided to start recording. So I'll hit start on here. For some reason, my FPS kind of tanks a lot right now. So there's times when I'm fighting when it drops down to like 30, which I did not like. Blood DK is in a great spot. Like, I felt kind of like a god. Like, not much to worry about. Lance Masters, they have there's two things you gotta worry about here. There's the Lance Masters, which will do like a fear and a stomp. And then there's the other guy who does rallying of the clan, which you need to like stop him, or else he'll just make everybody do more damage. So this is going to be a little disclaimer about this is this stuff is all brand new. I did not play in beta, so I don't know exactly how it all works. So some of the information I give you may be incorrect or slightly skewed. It's just I'm still learning, as is everybody else. And as a tank player, I'm kind of just trying to get over the anxiety and just play it and do it. Kind of learn by doing, and then when I see some stuff happening, look at MDT and then like try and learn like, okay, what is it that's happening here? So what I gather from this is there are catapults you can shoot to really hurt the boss, and these saboteurs are going to come and try and stop you from being able to use that catapult right there if you see them using it. So they're pretty quick. You have to be rooting them. You can be gripping them back, or if nobody's hitting them and you have like a rogue, or like you can do paralyze, you can blind, you can do all that fun stuff. So this boss is really all about using those catapults to kill him, and these saboteurs are going to try and prevent you from doing that. So anything you can do to stop that would be great. You know, this might be one you might consider taking Chains of Ice for if you're not using Chains of Ice. I'm not. But I do have the Grip of the Dead on right here, so that one, that saboteur we have blinded off in the side. And so we actually have a few catapults up that could be used right now, but no one's using them. Oop, that one hit me. My baby toe must have been in there. So we have a few that are ready to fire here. It does a lot. Like, they do a lot, so they're definitely worth using. Okay. So here, I kind of just like, when I start this place, I just go to the left and then I just do like a big circle. And so if you're going to ask my UI for this, you know, I'm still using LVUI. It's still all very similar to my old school stuff. But I am using, for the weak aura package, I am actually using Luxthos. This time around, Luxthos has made it to where it's so customizable, it's insane. So I went with his thing. Okay, so same kind of deal with the catapults. You have to stop these totems. So you have to just fly to each one, kill the pack, and kill the totem. You kill 4 of them, and then you can fight the boss. That's basically like what this fight is. Just like usual, sorry, I have to be kind of quiet. My daughter is just going to bed now. And it is late. It is like midnight, and she's not feeling good, so I might have a long night ahead of me after this. So this iteration of Blood DK heavily emphasizes us being in our Death and Decay. So we get a lot of good things when we're in Death and Decay. Oh, did you see that? The Storm Speaker does Tempest. That needs to be kicked ASAP. If you saw, it did AoE damage to like everybody. So Stormkeeper needs to be kicked, or I mean Tempest needs to be kicked right away. Sorry. So now we have access to something called Shattering Bone. This allows us to do massive damage when we lose a Bone Shield stack. It is done 300% more inside our Death and Decay. So just being in your Death and Decay and getting hit will do AoE damage. We can further compound this by putting on Death and Decay, using Tombstone to get rid of 5 Bone Shield stacks at once. So that's a big spike in damage. If you look right now, my damage is like in the 20,000s or whatever. That's because I used Bone Shield, I used Tombstone, that part. So, Blood Decay is very good. You need to just kind of tweak your old school gameplay of, we have 2 charges of Death and Decay now, so you just need to make sure it's like constantly up as much as possible. See, I'm not doing a good job. I'm still kind of learning. So you want it up as much as possible, and you want to be standing in it as much as possible, because anytime you're losing a Bone Shield stack, you're doing Shattering Bone, and you want that 300% damage increase while you're in Death and Decay. Alright, I don't know if these guys pull during or not, so I'm just going to kill them, and then I'm going to kill the pack that's just kind of like patrolling around, and then we'll get to the boss. So there's a few things on my UI I still need to tweak. You know, that's just, the beginning of an expansion is always fun. There's a lot of learning to do. There's a lot of like reading abilities afterwards in MDT, like, okay, why was I getting hit so hard right there? What was, you know, what really needs to be kicked? Because I'm going to have to update my plater, right? So that storm guy who is doing the Stormkeeper who is doing the Tempest, I need to add him to my plater to be a different color, so you always know when you go into the pack, he needs to be interrupted. I did that in Shadowlands, so like whenever you went into a pack, people with purple HP were guys who cast things that need to be interrupted. So like this is the time when I'm doing a lot of that, learning the abilities, what needs to be interrupted, spending a lot of time in MDT, and then updating my plater, or, you know, crap like that. So this guy is interesting. He's going to spawn orbs that drop, and when that happens, they need to be soaked. If they hit him, they will do AoE damage. And then he'll also do this mechanic where he puts these circles on us. When the circles drop, they will clear the orbs. So we saw all the orbs left. New orbs just came, so these need to be soaked. So when you soak them, you take increased dot damage, but you deal increased damage. So you don't want to take too many. You want to spread this out between people. My healer was like just standing next to me taking them all. But see, the dot damage just like killed all of them. So ideally the healer maybe will take like 3 or something like that, and then that's it. You probably don't want to have too many. And then, so like, it's going to come in phases. One phase, you're going to have these orbs that drop, and then you're going to get the circle that'll clear them all. Another phase, you have to soak them. And so you're going to have to kind of manage those stacks. I don't know the perfect recipe for this yet, but basically, like, if you can, see, look how I'm trying to like get them over there to clear all those stacks, like to clear all those balls out of the area. But that's how it's going to go. So I think I'm just going to go through, because we end up wiping that going back. And I think we do it one more time. So yeah, we do it one more time. But yeah, so you see how Fished was grabbing orbs, soaking them while she was going to drop the swirl? You don't want to do that. Like, don't soak them if you don't have to. If you know that swirl is going to clear them, you should do that. So you should spread out a good amount when it's going to happen, because you want to make sure that you can handle it. So this phase is like the hard one, because we do have to like soak them. And then the next phase, we get kind of an out, like a clear them all with the swirls. So they die. I kind of just let myself die. And then we go again. And this is the one that we actually beat it. So sorry, I'm just kind of skipping ahead through here because it's just downtime that you guys don't really need. But that's basically the fight. Alright, so we spread out really wide here. Spread out really wide. So you can just clear as many of those orbs as possible. Because the orbs will keep coming. If they hit the swirly, they won't just clear. You have to clear them with the circle when it's happening. So it's a kind of a timing kind of thing. You can't just like put the circle down and then hope the orbs will run into it and clear. It's not going to happen. You have to kind of, you know, put yourself out there for it. So yeah, if you get too many, it's going to really hurt. Yeah, this is why we're going pretty far out, but unfortunately we had no orbs at that time. So I'm trying to get some battle reses going. You know, we committed lust, I think, on the second try, so we don't have it this time. So come over here. I ate that one, I shouldn't have. But yeah, so when it happens to you, the amount of swirlies you get are directly correlated to how many of these orbs you were able to clear. Okay, so I think I try and battle res our healer. I don't think we have any though, so I end up just, you know, without the healer, these guys are going to die trying to soak up some orbs. Or if the boss gets the orbs, he's going to just pulse a bunch of AoE damage. So I have 9 stacks of this thing on me, which means I'm actually starting to hit like a truck. So I'm letting him eat some of them. And I'm just going to finish it off this way. And, you know, that's kind of the fight. It's not too hard. It's just managing the orbs is going to be, like, once we find the correct number and, like, people understand it better, I think this fight won't be too hard. Okay. So now I'm going to the next one. So this whole map is like, this whole map is kind of like these, you have to go to the next boss and then clear, you know, the different totems or the different ballistas, or these are like these little green summoning circle spots. Like you have to clear all these. So I kind of just come here waiting for them. I could see this being kind of a difficult dungeon. If people aren't following the tank and they go to like the wrong one, it can go bad real quick. So hopefully there'll be somewhat of an established route that people just expect. So for pugging reasons, it won't be too bad. We'll see. Time will tell. Alright, if I remember, he goes the wrong way. Like he's going to like Azure Span. Alright, so back to the fights. Alright. Death Bolt volleys need to be kicked. See the Death Bolt volley there? Those need to be kicked. That's AoE damage that goes out. So anytime you see that, try and kick it. I will also be updating my weak ores to have, she'll be purple, or is it pink? I don't remember what I do. I'll have to look. But I make the cast bar double the size when it's an ability that needs to be kicked. And I also make their health a different color so you know before going into the fight that that's someone that needs to be kicked. So I'll be doing that stuff for Plater. So in a couple weeks, if you're interested in my Plater, I'll have that out. Like it's available now if you're on the Discord, but you know, if you don't have it and you're going to want it with those kind of updates, you know, feel free to leave a comment or join the Discord. Ooh, yeah, those hit hard. See that death bolt volley went off, and it does decent chunk. It's not insane, but higher difficulties it will start to suck, because it is a relatively quick cast and it does hit everybody. I gotta move my mouse. But yeah, blood decays are gods. Like, I think I did my first mythic 0 in Ruby life pools, and I was item level 310. Was in 0 danger. Did fine the whole time. You know, I'm healing 24k no problem. And I think I'm 326 in this dungeon. Like, blood decays are in a great spot. If you're on the fence about playing blood decay, you should definitely give it a try. So yeah, look, my FPS on the top left is going down to like 35, 40, 30. Like, it's real bad. I think it's because I'm playing on Linux, and I think there's just like, it's not super optimized yet, or I don't know, but I don't know if this stuff keeps up. I can't really do competitive mythic stuff with this kind of lag, so if this doesn't get better, I'll end up having to play on Windows and record on Windows. So if it gets that way, it should, because I have, so in my computer, I have a 3080, and I have like a 12 core, 24 thread AMD CPU. Like, my computer's no slouch with 32 gigs of RAM, so I should not be getting 30 FPS on like all, this is like all the lowest settings, by the way. The only thing I have up is spell density and textures. Everything else is on low or disabled. Okay, this boss, these are kind of like twins. So the girl is going to be like jumping around, and you can try your best to like keep them together so you can do some split damage. Alright. So yeah, the guy will do, Maruk will do like an AoE, like area denial, and she will jump somewhere else. He also does a tank buster called like brutalize. So if you can see, we have a frightful roar coming in 5 seconds. And it should be happening like now. Supposed to. Yeah, you gotta be careful if you get hit by brutalize. It can hurt. Frightful roar. So yeah, my timers aren't correct yet. So this gale arrow that's gonna be happening, it's gonna put a reticle on the ground, and we'll get to see it in this fight. My timers are definitely incorrect. So yeah, if you're a mobile tank like a warrior or a demon hunter or something, definitely get them together. So Gale Arrow, he shoots these things out, and then you just gotta dodge. So the more spread out, probably the better. So he'll pick 3 people, shoot it, and then it'll do tornadoes in all directions. So you just gotta spread out and then dodge. I cannot give you more, in-depth of these bosses yet. This boss here is going to knock you down, like shoot you out of the sky, so when you get close, you want to be towards the ground. Because if they shoot you out of the sky, then you want to be when you're already near the ground, or else you're gonna die. So see, knocks you out of the ground pretty much. Now, I learned a different path, and I'll show it in the clip as well, but basically if you hug left right here and follow this path down, it takes you a more direct route up the mountain, so you don't have to do all this weird stuff. So we go through here, there's just so much to do, and like skipping, if you try and go straight up the mountain, the like main way, there's like a bunch of random stuff, and then you run into a bunch of guys. It's a pain. You know, we're trying to jump over things, we're trying to do stuff. We accidentally pull too much. You know, one of these guys fear, these defenders, they do blood curdling shout, which will fear you. And so, you know, you can accidentally get feared into stuff. So, yeah, we die here. But then, we try something else. Alright. So from here, if you're looking at the map, you know, you still get shot out. This is that path from the beginning I was talking about. You can follow the path. So this is the path we went by towards the front. We follow the path around, and then you can go up this little like alcove here, or whatever you want to call this little hill. There's a torch lighting the way there, and this will lead you up the mountain as well, just in a more linear fashion. See, look, I even like make it big and show you, like, if you can come up this little alcove right here, like in the middle of the key. I was like, okay, I know I'm recording, I'm going to like really make this obvious. This is like a good way to go. I would heavily, especially in the beginning as we're learning, I would heavily recommend you go this way up this hill, because there's only like 2 packs to deal with. Yeah, you have to deal with 2 defenders, so that means you have to kick 2 blood-curdling shouts. So both these guys can fear you, so you have to be careful there. But, you know, it's only 2 guys, and no, like, a bunch of different ads and stuff aren't showing up. I think someone went AFK or had to do something, or I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, we fight this. Yeah, so you got the War Stomp to get out of the area denial, and then the blood curdling shout you have to kick. And that's really it. I think these guys cleave too. I think if I face them towards the group, they get cleaved. I believe that's what's happening. So, you know, it can be a pain because you have to deal with... Oh yeah, I think they're cleaving. I think I'm cleaving them into the group right now. Okay, so that's a good note to self. Like, these guys cleave, and we need... When you're doing this as a tank, I just learned this lesson from reviewing the footage and watching them get hurt. I need to face them away from everybody. And that will be hard when they're doing their area denial, their war stomps. So just, if you're a DPS or somebody, understand that these guys cleave, and don't be like me in facing them towards the group. I didn't know they did that, but you know, that's why we do these videos, because we learn from them, right? Okay. So we got 1 defender in here. Yeah. Holy Thunder from these Thunder Fists, I believe, is something that also needs to be kicked. I believe it's a stun. So this is going better than me being over here. They're not getting hit by cleaves. I don't know what they're getting jacked up from, though. So you have to kill these twins before you start up. It looks like he can come from the far right as well. Looks like there's a few ways up. Which way is going to be the best way, I have no idea. So yeah, you've got one that charges and one that stomps, and then one that throws a spear. So like one will charge and then do a big stomp, and then you'll see like a spear go, and you have to just stay out of that. And it looks like he tries to charge he tries to throw his spear at a ranged. It looks like it goes towards ranged. And if the twin dies, the other one gets enraged, and the enraged can be soothed. So, you know, shiv, trank, soothe will work. So in like a big fort week, it might be really helpful to soothe them. Okay. Alright, well, we're near the end of this video. Appreciate you guys for watching it, and you know, I'm kind of back, so I'll be putting out a lot more videos. In these first couple weeks, it's going to be like this, where it's just watching a recording of a key I did and kind of just explaining it. You know, I'm not using any audio because there was a lot going on in my computer room when I recorded this. So my daughter was running around screaming. I had people in Discord. I don't have the audio split up correctly yet, so yeah, I'm just doing this as just chatting, just talking. You can play some music if you want, or you know, whatever. So this guy, you burst him down, and then he's going to bring out these Stormcasters. They can be gripped, so if you're at Blood Decay, maybe save Abomination's Limb until they come out. So you can kick them, you can grip them, but pretty much when they die, that's when he comes back. So you have to kill all four, so grouping them up and killing them is going to be the best way. So like I said, saving Abomination's Limb for that would be really good. And he does these swirls, and basically he does them in twos. And he puts a static spear on somebody that we all get like teleported to. Okay. Well, thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. It's good to be back. Alright.